Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This Collins with your sneak peek at next week, episode number 498 for comics originally releasing March 6th, 2019. Before Drew and I get into what's coming out in your local comic book shops this coming Wednesday. Drew, we got all kinds of numbers and some feedback from our listeners.
Yeah, we're chock full of stuff. Right off the top, we have to give Jason a huge shout out and thanks for his work at Amazing Comic-Con Aloha, where he did some interviews with a lot of creators and celebrities that were there, and sent those to us to share with you guys in the feed. We hope you enjoyed some of those. And he sent us a little synopsis of his time and says, "Hey, a huge shout out. Amazing Comic-Con Aloha was great. I thank God and my wife for letting me go to this convention and meet my favorite creators. And the George Perez farewell dinner was awesome. It was great hearing stories from him. A big mahalo to Mr. Perez's handler, Shannon, who gave me a minute out of Mr. Perez's very busy schedule at the convention to do a short and to-the-point interview. And Kyle, I started to lay the groundwork for my next interview when Amazing comes back to Hawaii in 2020. Cowabunga, dude." Mahalo for letting me contribute. Keep up the great work on doing the podcast. Well, we thank you, Jason, for all your work as our Hawaiian brother and con reporter live on the scene. We appreciate that very much, and that was a lot of work and good stuff there. We did get some feedback from George Perez's website, who contacted us and said, "Hey, I heard you interviewed George. We'd like to listen to that, but I can't find it in your episode because it's 2 hours. It's nearly 2 hours long because I forgot to put the time codes in." So I told him it was about 10 seconds in. So, it's right there at the beginning. And he was able to find it. And then they reposted some stuff to their Facebook, which was nice.
Very cool.
But yeah, so I'll try to remember time codes when we do stuff like that next time. It was on my list, and I just forgot it. Kyle, Jason's a Steeler fan like us, by the way.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah. And so isn't this the Combine weekend?
Yes, we're getting up on Indianapolis is the now hub of the NFL universe.
So we have to replace like half of our team.
Yes.
And we have to keep up with Michael Lamb's KC Chiefs out there, and the team that will not be named in Boston area. Go Steelers. Let's see. We've got all kinds of stuff. We've been mixing it up a little at the last few episodes, where we've been, instead of doing all feedback and news and notes like at the top, we've been kind of sticking it in between like FOC lists and top 10s and sprinkling it throughout. I'm curious if you guys care how the show runs down, if you don't mind it just being like FOC numbers, sneak peek in a row, back to back to back, or you would prefer if we broke it up with some of the other things that we talk about, if you like the break in between. I don't know. I'm torn. Kyle, how do you feel about the show? Which way do you like the way it's organized?
Yeah, I understand the FOC and then doing the FOC and then the sneak right beside each other gets a little confusing because you're talking about two completely separate weeks of things. So I kind of like a little bit of a break in between those to kind of differentiate it. That's kind
of what we were thinking. And I assume that's kind of that's helpful to listeners as well. But if it's not something you care about, we'd like to hear that too. That's awesome. I don't know. Do you want to do FOC first, or do you want to talk about those January numbers that I prognosticated 100% correctly?
Oh, you were not 100% correct. Let's
no.
jump into those numbers, because now we're arguing already about it.
Okay, so we look at these numbers, and I said 4. The top 4 would be over 100,000, and you said 3. So I was right.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
right. Now, as far as let's see, we said how many would over the sales for Batman Who Laughs be?
Mm-hmm.
And I said over 150?
And I said under, and I was way closer.
Yeah. So maybe I wasn't 100% correct, but I felt good about good about getting Conan over 100,000 by 900.
Yeah, you got that one over by one Midtown Comics.
That is true. That is true. And something else I was going to do before we got on the show, I was going to go and just like sort it by DC, and just kind of see like where's like their top 25 ongoing titles in. So what like if they were going to like slice it off and stop printing, where would it be? But I didn't get that counted.
Well, you can do that right there. If you look at the blue tab at the top, it's sortable.
Well, yeah, but then when you sort it, then you're getting like mini series.
Oh yeah,
and you're getting the double and triple shipping books. There were 3 detectives in the month, So how do you kind of? I don't know. I just couldn't do that. I couldn't figure it out easily without pulling it into a spreadsheet, and I didn't have time to do that. Well,
it looks like a majority of the stuff is right beside each other. So I mean,
yeah.
Doesn't really seem that difficult at all.
I mean, if you look, like I'm just glancing down, and when you look, you get down to Nightwing and Titans and Teen Titans, and you're in the low 20s.
Yeah.
Deathstroke, Red Hood, barely at 20,000. And you get below there, then you got Green Arrow at 18,000, Batman Beyond at 16,000. What else is an ongoing superhero book? That might be the end of it. So it wasn't really that many.
The Ravens mini, that's leaving.
Yeah, Sideways, that's a New Age of Heroes line. Scooby's already ending. Some of the Jinx World titles are not part of superheroes. So, like Nightwing's could be like the bottom.
Yeah,
Nightwing
if they're
and Titans.
Truly scraping 20 to 30 comics off the top of the pile to make better stories, we may end up losing the Nightwings and the Red Hoods of the world.
But when you look at this, I don't think they have 20 superhero comics that are ongoing. I don't even know if they have 22.
Yeah.
When I'm glancing at this, it's probably right around there or a little less. So they were already there, and we didn't know it. Depending on what your definition of is. So it's So I don't think it was that big of a declarative statement at all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything on this chart jump out at you?
Heroes in Crisis keeping good numbers. That hasn't really dropped that much. That's held on pretty good.
Yeah, and with all the bad backlash, it's still selling really well. And we've heard that people are dropping it, but people are still ordering it.
I was going to say, it doesn't look really like it.
Which is interesting.
Walking Dead 187.
Yeah, that's troubling. 46,000. That's like a 20,000 unit drop.
Yeah, something happened there.
Is that the first? That would be the first title that didn't have Sinkovich covers, right?
Perhaps. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, because that was a January issue. That one came out at the beginning of January.
So,
So during last year when we were getting the Sinkovich covers, we just didn't notice the number of people dropping the title until it popped back to single issue.
Yeah.
And now we really get a look at the fact of over the course of 2018, we lost 20,000 readers to Walking Dead.
And 20 spots on the chart because it was a top 10 book. Mm-hmm. Or at least 11, and now it's 30.
And now it's 30, yep.
So, and then the optimist, the glass half full guy, is telling me that, well, what if this is just an aberration, and issue 187 is going to be under ordered, and so I should stock up on these because it'll be a course correction. Or, I mean, people have been talking about Walking Dead attrition for a while, and I didn't believe it, didn't want to believe it. So the 15th anniversary propped up the sales for a year, and now the true sales of Walking Dead could possibly be mid-40s and dropping.
Yeah, and dropping even more.
And that's sad for me, man. That's really sad.
Especially you look at the fact that that's the top of the image heap is now under 50K.
Yeah. And spawns continue to rise.
Well, I'm trying to find the next image book. Spawns at rank 88 at 25.
Yep. Then Oblivion Song at 20,000, Criminal at 20,000. But that's returnable, so they knock a little bit off for that. Die at 18,000, Prodigy at 17,000. I mean, there's lots of double-digit sale books.
And another reason this could be... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Another reason this could be an aberration is because we saw the sales numbers and the sales percentage for Image was abhorrently lower than normal as well.
Yeah.
So that would lead to an abhorrently low Walking Dead number just this month.
Yeah. We need a couple of months of this to really see if was Walking Dead released at the last week of January or something. You know, maybe there's some shenanigans with the numbers that way, or this is true. And I mean, people have been saying it. I just chose not to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bummer. It's a bummer if that's the way it is.
I mean, it's the death of one of the best independent comics
ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
It got us back into comics.
Correct.
Single-handedly got us back into comics. And I mean,
and now most people have turned their back on it.
They turned their back on it. I've told people this before, and online, social media, and stuff, and I'm like, I'll watch Walking Dead and read Walking Dead, and I'll be the last guy that stops. Right. And so, you guys can all jump ship, and I'll turn the lights out.
Drew, when you leave Alexandria, close the gates for us.
I'll be the last one, man. I will hold on till the very, very end, for sure. Looking down here at some other things of note.
So we got how many Man Without Fear?
Maybe 5.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the first one. Man Without Fear ranks 62, so 33,000 on number 1. And then we're down to 28,000 on number 2, 27 on number 3, and just under 27 on 4 and 5.
Okay.
All with that consecutive week release on that.
Yeah. Stabity Ever After from Scout Comics didn't do much. 3,700. I think it's a good number for collectability standpoint, though.
Yeah.
Since we think it's going away.
Oliver, number 1 from Image, only 13,000.
Yeah, you thought that would be a bigger splash, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I thought with Gary Whitta writing it, that it would draw a few more people out, but it has not.
No Aftershock number 1s, so really they're Walk Through Hell is really the only thing that's sold over 5,000 copies.
Mm-hmm.
Some books I'm really enjoying from them: Moth and Whisper, Patience, Conviction, Revenge, which I think is really good. Those are selling barely 1,000 copies, and that's like one every third store. That's not great.
Yeah. I mean, traditionally January's down, but this seems a little more down.
Yeah. Well, they said it was up because of all that stuff from December getting pushed into January.
Yeah, that's true.
But you're right. February should be a bloodbath.
It's true.
Ahoy Comics launch. Their stuff is cooling off pretty soundly as well. And my favorite of the bunch, High Heaven, is the weakest seller. So really, I think the lesson here, it's still selling like 1,000 copies, is stuff I like does not sell to anyone else. I mean, Alterna is outselling Ahoy pretty soundly.
Mm-hmm.
Amigos, The Blackening, I'm assuming is that reorder or is that their initial sales of $9.55? Because that's cash money right there.
Yeah.
At $9.55. Yeah, it looks like we got some reprint on Rags from Antarctic and Punchline.
Die at 10,000. It's a better book than that, I hear.
Yeah, but it's a challenge to get it.
Yep.
It's a challenge for a lot of stores to even order it. I'm surprised it sells that well, really.
Oh wow, that White Widow book from White Giant. What is it? Is that what it's from? From Red Giant.
Yeah.
At 7,477. That was doing pretty good on the secondary market.
Yeah. One of my previous spec picks of the month, Appalachian Apocalypse from Mad Cave Pictures. Or was it Cave Pictures? I don't know. It sold 1,757 copies.
That's a small. That's not big.
Not big. So it needs a heck of a lot of word of mouth to get some interest.
You got a few people you got somebody getting $10 for that number one online.
Yeah.
Most people getting 4 plus ship. Yeah. Not hard.
Not great. That's pretty much all that really stuck out to me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wolf Warner says, "Hey, thanks for the shout out on the podcast. For the record, while I do frequent Midtown Comics, my main LCS is Anyone Comics in Brooklyn. That's where most of the goodness comes from. It's the best.
Very nice.
It's the best local shop in NYC, which is cool. Sorry about that. I just assumed because you were in Midtown that was your LCS, but now we know. New York's kind of a big city. Got more than one comic shop.
Wolf's got enough things that he's getting that he needs more than one LCS.
That's true. Let's see. Tyler Lewis writes in and says this about TV and comics. Hey, you guys. I just finished watching The Umbrella Academy on Netflix, and wow. I thought it was really well done. And as soon as I blew through the whole season, I went looking for the back issues. And to no surprise, they had shot way up in price.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is the long-term payoff for these comics that appear on TV? P.S. You guys should listen to the Wolverine The Long Night podcast. It is way better than the comic. Keep on trucking. Okay. Yeah, Umbrella Academy came out a while ago, right? As a
Yes.
comic,
Hmm.
and I thought it was kind of tough to find back then. There was enough demand because of the Gerard Way connection, and then when that relaunch of Doom Patrol and all that other stuff that he was doing for DC and that ill-fated line got interest in Umbrella Academy again then. And then now that the show is out and it does look good. I haven't watched it yet. Have you watched any?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, those are going to be tough. I think we'll get to a list a little later on in the show, and we'll give you some of those numbers on what Umbrella Academy is going for right now. But it's doing well.
Yeah, Umbrella Academy, Dark Horse 2008, maybe.
Yeah,
Trying to find that out.
maybe so. Matt wants to know our most expensive comics. Have we answered this before?
I think we have.
Well, hopefully we're answering it the same way. Let's see now. If I say what my most expensive comic that I have right now, or that I've ever had, those are two different answers because most of mine are gone. So if the most expensive comic I have right now, could be some of my Moon Knight stuff. Some of my signed comics, maybe. I probably don't have anything over $100 left that hasn't been sold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my most expensive comic ever would be my first appearance of Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night 32. And I guess I have 33. I still have a second appearance left. So it's the first appearance I have sold, and so it's gone. But if the second appearance is trending over $100, then that would probably be my most expensive one left.
So if I go on Comic Book Realm and I go into my collection that I have logged and I click my most valuable tab,
Yeah.
My number one book is I have the signed copy of Saga number 1.
Ah, yes.
Which has a book value of $190. You're not getting that for it, but that's what it's quote unquote booking at. The second one I actually have 2 copies of New Teen Titans issue 2. That's your Deathstroke first appearance and everything. On that. So those are booked at $155. Again, you're not getting that, but that's quote unquote book. That's Andy's Overstreet price on those. And then I have the the next couple books that I have that are higher end that I have logged. There's still a bunch of stuff that's not logged, but this is what it's showing now. The Amazing Spider-Man issue 4B, which is the variant of that first appearance of Silk.
Oh,
has
yeah.
a high base value. And then Walking Dead issue 150, the one per store black and white sketch variant.
Oh, yeah. Where did you get that?
LCS.
Nice. That was a score.
Yeah.
Well, those are some good. Why do you hold on to those? You need to dump that stuff.
I do.
At least one of the Deathstroke first appearances, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you
Yeah.
waiting for a movie?
No.
No?
Just sitting on them
Just
for
sitting
no
on
real reason. And then from that same Teen Titans run, I have duels of issue 1 as well. So I got a few different things from that in there.
Jeff says, I hear you mention Superior Foes and the Doc Ock Superior Spidey run all the time as great.
Yes.
Are there other series about villains that you recommend? And why aren't there more comics starring villains?
We don't know the answer to that. Another thing that we point out a lot of time is there was a Magneto run a couple 3 years ago from Marvel that was super good. It started off super dark, started off a great Magneto run. And it's also a lesson in stupid event titles via Marvel.
Derailed it
Because it had to kept moving in and out of the axes of the world and the original sins of the world, and they killed a book that was super good and finding all kinds of footing because for 4 issues it had to jump into an event and then jump out of an event that character probably shouldn't have been in. and we didn't get to follow its narrative to its real conclusion. That's great. We also really liked a lot of what DC did during its lenticular Villains Month.
That's true.
You got a dark Harley Quinn. You got some dark versions of a lot of other characters. A darkness that they haven't gone to with a lot of things. I mean, for crying out loud, in the Harley Quinn book, she murdered a bunch of children.
Yes.
And that's the Harley I actually give a crap about.
Yeah, is that when she rigged all the game devices?
Yeah, all the little
blow?
Game Boys to explode on Christmas or whatever and kill them all.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But
they totally like retconned that too, like that never happened.
Yeah, exactly. But there were probably a dozen really, really good villain titles in that given lenticular month. There were one-shots, but they were super good. But like I said, the one that sticks out the most to me is that Magneto run that I really liked.
And I guess the reason there aren't more comics starring villains is because maybe they don't sell. I mean, they sell to us, but that doesn't... Superior Foes was always a really low-selling comic. It was like 10, 12,000 a month, and that was when Marvel was cutting things anytime it hit 20,000. So now Superior Spider-Man was doing really well, but it was the only Spider-Man book, so they really had no choice.
Yeah.
You had to buy it. Now that there's an Amazing Spider-Man along with the Superior Spider-Man, I'm curious to see how those sales go. It will be a fraction of the main title. So I'm guessing sales mostly. There's a large percentage of older comics readers who like their superheroes to be superheroes, and they don't like anything else. So if they're not going to sell to the core audience, and basically the core audience is really who they got to cater to.
Another thing that Drew forgot. Drew, did you have any that you were going to mention?
You picked some great ones.
Well, the other one that I know Drew would talk about is Thanos.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Both the Thanos books and that one-shot annual about him just torturing that one guy throughout his entire life.
That was great. It was a great issue.
And also, we derived a lot of joy from the Lore Freeze short-lived comic book for a little while, a few years ago.
That was a solid read.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely was. Yeah. So I agree. I'd like more of them, but I guess there's been a couple.
Yeah.
So there you go. You want to shoot over to the FOC?
Sure thing. Of course, FOC is the final order cutoff, your final ability to order books that you missed during previews, usually books that are about 4 to 6 weeks out. Sometimes you get some final artwork, sometimes you get some FOC exclusive items. Of course, these are curated for us through Cowabunga Comics, and we have the ability to double up and add a few extra things to our order, or perhaps pull a few things off. So we like to highlight things on this, go back over them, look at things we missed or things that we've started to like over the last couple months and want to do a little continuing on. What Eric's featuring in this FOC is the things that he's seen some movement on. We've got Batgirl 33 with the Yasmin Putri cover B.
Nice.
We have Wonder Woman 67 with the Esteban Maroto cover.
Very nice.
Very good, but we've gotten so many really good Wonder Woman B covers that I'm jaded.
Yes.
We have War of the Realms #1, of course, of the 6-issue mini that is. The 1 in 10 Delato variant. A really nice looking Thor on the cover of that. Of course, War of the Realms being mostly an Asgardian thing, that makes sense. And Stiletto #1 from Lion Forge by Paule Schmidt. Doing that one.
That's pretty nice.
But, Drew, if you want to, let's crawl a little bit more through the FOC and see what Dark Horse has to offer.
During the pre-order cycle, I missed this Bad Luck Chuck. It's written by Leela Gwynn with art by Kelly Fitzpatrick. And it's about someone who says she'll need more than a rabbit's foot to get through this. Cursed at birth, Charlene Chuck Manchester hires out her own bad luck, providing disaster where someone else can profit. She can get you that insurance payout fortune for a price. But bad luck doesn't always go as planned, as bad luck never does. And when Chuck gets stuck between a dissatisfied crime boss client, a cult leader, and a dogged insurance fraud investigator, things get explosive. Everything that could go wrong does, and only about half of it by accident.
So we have a reverse domino.
Yeah, I guess we do. It sounds cool to me. I missed this pitch. I must have skipped over Dark Horse or something during pre-order cycle. So, thankfully, I have the FOC to save me. And you want to guess how many times we've used the FOC to reduce our orders?
That's going to be 0, maybe 1.
That's going to be 0.
Okay.
Never. We've always added.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
yeah, here's another week where we're adding again.
Do we know Leela Gwen from anything?
It didn't look familiar to me, and they didn't put anything in the solicit to tell us what else she's done.
Gotcha.
But that was it from Dark Horse.
Yeah, that's all I got from there as well. Of course, Umbrella Academy's Hotel and Oblivion spinoff is on issue 6. If you're liking that, jump on the current title and see if there's anything there. And on to DC.
Oh, that Action 1009, just the A cover alone by Steve Epting is just a thing of beauty. I really like it. I haven't seen Steve Epting in a while do a cover like that, so I like it a lot. The B is by TBD, but we have a cover, so I don't know if we don't know who that person is, or they just put a cover placeholder in. I'm not sure about that.
There you go. Dial H is back.
Yeah.
Sam Humphries and Joe Quinones.
Yeah. This is the last of the Wonderline releases, I think, that Bendis has launched. And I've read the other 3, and I've liked all 3 of them.
Hey.
So I'm curious about this. We had a Dial H before, and it didn't click with me much, but we'll see if this interpretation is a little better.
Drew, this is the point of the podcast where I ask you for a scoop. Oh, no, that's Scooby-Doo Team Up. I'm sorry, that's not Scooby Apocalypse. Never mind, we'll have to wait on that.
Yes. You won't have that book to kick around for much longer.
Nice little Joshua Middleton cover B on Martian Manhunter number 4. One of the better of the Martian Manhunter covers. We've had some off-the-wall ones, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, that is pretty nice.
I really like that one. All right. Anything else in DC, sir?
No.
Let's see. We got IDW. Glow.
Wow.
So
did you watch
on the
this
Netflix series that I have not watched?
Oh, it was good. I watched both seasons.
Looks a little more all agey than the Netflix version.
Yeah. Did IDW do the Stranger Things as well?
Ooh, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons Director's Cut number 1. I really like the cover of that. That looks like an old Dungeon Master's Guide from back in the day.
Excellent.
It's very
or
cool
player's manual.
Sorry, nerd. Didn't know what that was called.
Could be a Dungeon Master's Guide. It's been a while.
All right, let's see here. Image Comics. Doesn't look like we get a number 1 from Image that we need to double up on.
Mm-mm.
Spawn will continue to be Spawn. Outcast ending at 50, was it?
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Ooh, a Babs Tar Ice Cream Man cover. Not too shabby. I like that. Cover beyond that.
Very cool. A Snot Girl sighting, issue 13.
Oh, geez. Do we have the beginning of a new arc on that one, I wonder?
What, Snot Girl?
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Seems like it's been a while, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. All right. Anything in Marvel? Hulkverines continues on with its second one.
I saw the Sienkiewicz variant, and then I saw the price tag, and I said, pass. For Fantastic Four 8.
Marvel Rising number 1.
That's that kitty one, right?
Yep. Girl power and all ages. So if you have somebody in your family that would like that,
Or you're a kid at heart.
or you're a kid at heart, absolutely.
How about War of the Realms?
Yeah, we've talked about this ad nauseum. So, within the month of March, I believe War of the Realms hits, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, War of the Realms for March, we think there's about 10 titles you need to get for March. And then April, there was what, 26?
Something like that, yeah.
So, there are a lot of books associated with this mini.
And if you're going to get it, what cover you're going to get? I mean, are you going to get the George Perez cover? Because, there's probably not going to be a lot of George Perez left if he's retiring.
That is, I don't know if that is just Arthur Adams and Matthew Wilson doing George Perez, because that's what it says.
Oh.
Go Comics. Love you.
Looks like these are all Arthur Adams,
Oh, okay.
maybe, or at least the 3 that I've clicked on.
So why does it say Frank Cho and it's not Frank Cho? I don't get it. Is it just? Could it be Diamond screwed up?
Yes, it very.
Is
well
that
could be.
possible?
Yes.
Oh, I bet you they did. So there's lots of covers by lots of people, and holy moly, how many covers do you think there are there?
There are a lot.
When we got your 1 in 2,000 or 1 in 1,000.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
The Simonson Hidden Gem black and white variant. You think that's a 1 in 1,000 probably?
Yeah, that are 1 per store.
Wow. That's crazy. There's a ton. You got to be a super fan to get to be picking a lot of these up.
I recommend the J. Scott Campbell.
Well, surprise. Is it $5?
Yeah, 6 or whatever it is.
Oh, it's a $6 normal comic
Yeah.
on sale for $4 or $5.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Marvel. Who do you think you are? Guess you can get away with it. Why not, right?
There you go. But yeah, it could be a really good event, so might as well jump in and check it out.
Will you even read the 6-issue mini?
I will read number 1 and immediately cast judgment on the entire thing.
But there's a high probability you won't do any of the tie-ins.
Correct.
And I think I'm right there with you. I will sample number 1, probably not do any of the tie-ins unless I'm reading it anyway, and I just want to see what's happening. Don't want to miss it. Yeah. That's it for me for Marvel.
All right, boom.
Let's see, we got Avant-Garde's number 3. First issue was good. Haven't read issue 2 yet, but I really enjoyed the first issue.
There you go. Dynamite.
Nothing.
And here we have some Aftershocks and Archies and the other things of the world. Black Mask with the number 1. Lab Raider. Oh, go ahead.
You know I'm a sucker for Black Mask, number 1.
You are.
So this is Matt Miner and Kreese Lee. And this is about a pair of young vigilantes who break into a black market lab where illegal tests are being run on animals. What at first seems like a simple rescue mission becomes more dangerous when they stumble on secret military experiments, discovering to their horror that the animals they sought to help have been turned into something different, something monstrous. And once the cages are open, the rescuers quickly become the prey of these weaponized beasts. This high-octane action comic blends vigilante heroics with sci-fi horror for a brutal new adventure. Well, we got animosity where the animals are kind of taken on. That's Aftershock.
Yes.
So I guess this is their version of that. Still cool. Sounds kind of cool.
There you go. And then, of course, Stiletto number 1.
It's a Lion Forge book.
Yep. $6 a piece. 3-issue miniseries.
You're out.
Crime story with a twist.
You don't do $6 books.
I do not normally do $6 books, but we shall see.
Yep.
'Cause that does look quite good.
Anything else on the FOC we should be aware of?
I think that's it. Just a few things to be aware of, and if you missed any of your War of the Realms, this is your last chance to get in. If you want to go big on War of the Realms, and you want some of these big high-end 1 in 50s, 1 in 20s, 1 in 100s, the best bargain we've actually seen is when we go through Cowabunga on that. They always do us pretty right on that. If they're going big, they'll catch you in on those kind of things as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they meet you halfway. They don't gouge you like some of the other shops would. We've got a little bit of news and notes here. With Spider-Man and Deadpool team up, the team up series comes to an end with its 50th issue in May.
I gotta sell my one, or I gotta sell all of them.
You should, yeah. I mean, this was a series that kind of came out of nowhere. Really, really struck a nerve with people. Sold out. Went back to print over and over and over again. And it got to a cadence where it was depending on who the creator was.
When it was Kelly and the original team, man, it was great.
Those were good issues. And then when they did filler issues, they were terrible. And then it kind of lost its way. Well, maybe it didn't, but it lost its heat. It wasn't as well. It wasn't as talked about as much, and didn't go back to printings as often anymore. And the sales kind of cooled off.
Yeah.
So, but it really had a fun run. So, you had a bunch of those early issues.
Yeah, a bunch of those early issues. I went back and did several of the extra. They did really good covers when they went back for secondary printings on number 1, and I picked up some of those really cool ones there as well. I also got the really cool GameStop variant that I was able to trade points in for when they had the points-based exclusives on those. And I got Ed McGuinness to sign that at C2E2.
Oh, and you have that still?
Yeah. And that is a really awesome book. I'm very proud of that one.
Do you still have your Comic Realm up?
Yes.
What is some of those early ones going for?
I mean, they book for pretty darn good. Let me see if I can find it. They still have $15 on the cover A.
Oh.
And they have 65 on the GameStop variant that I have as far as book value.
Nice. But, well, you have the sign, though.
And then I got to sign it. Yep.
You might have to bite the bullet and you might have to send that and your Saga 1 in and do a signature series CGC on those.
There you go.
I think it's going to be... that's a big jump in price with slabbed.
Yeah.
Whether they're... Well, I guess do you need them to be like 9.6 or 9.4?
I mean, yes, I do.
Does the market need that?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, because somebody has the GameStop variant of that Spider-Man Deadpool #1 signed 3 times by Stan Lee and Ed McGuinness, and they're trying to get $2,000 out of it.
It's probably the Stan Lee that's pushing that, but
yeah, no doubt. Somebody just sold that variant in the raw for $60 shipped.
Yeah,
so, yeah, it's still got some value to it.
Yeah, so you're right there. Your comic realm's not off at all. Just like Overstreet, solid pricing,
solid, perpetually solid.
Yep. Let's see. In Suicide Squad 2 news, Will Smith exits
for
James
Bad Boys
Gunn's
3
DC comics movie. That's why it wasn't because of James Gunn.
They said it was scheduling conflicts for Bad Boys 3.
Okay. Well, he was probably the best part of Suicide Squad.
Harley Quinn?
Besides Harley Quinn.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So we'll see what happens with that.
I mean, give some other characters time to shine. I think the thing that was the worst about Suicide Squad is you thinned out by going so many different places to so many different people. Plus, you had to kind of do their origins. Plus, it's difficult to try to get you to root for bad guys. So they definitely have a better chance with the second one not having to do that kind of things.
Yeah.
Plus, James Gunn is good at this kind of thing. So I am hopeful, regardless of Will Smith or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Suicide Squad was one we did not mention when we talked about villain books.
Yeah.
Do you count that?
Yeah. It was pretty good for a little while. A short little while.
Yeah. Let's see. As far as on the Walmart book DC partnership, we had heard...
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
Yeah, we heard that they were ending. We heard that they were pulling the plug. But Didio has said recently, no, they're successful and continuing. For those fans of the DC Giants at Walmart, we have to clear up some misinformation making the rounds. Want to let you know that these books are doing well. So well, we are looking to expand the number of original pages in each book and include distribution to the direct market, which will make a lot of retailers happy because that was a major sticking point and upset a lot of retailers. So that'll do a little bit to mend some fences between DC and some retailers.
Yeah.
Maybe too little, too late. Maybe not. Maybe it's a nice olive
Yeah,
branch.
because Target was getting in the game with some of them too. So
yeah,
not just Walmart anymore. So it may also be a situation where you chase the direct market and retail version, get that barcoded, not barcoded, go back to the 80s when you looked for both of those books.
Yes.
I think it would be cool. This is just me being dumb. Go different covers on retailer and direct market and create a bit of a search and grab for them.
Yeah, that would continue to give Walmart an exclusive something.
Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, you could look at it as Walmart has the exclusive something, or perhaps the direct market has the exclusive something.
True. Either way, I think you're onto something. I like that. It's a good idea. We have the top 10 best-selling comics for the week of February 28th, brought to you by coverprice.com, COVR price.com. Number 1 is Old Guard #1, the Greg Rucka book.
Oh, wow.
It is up 228%.
What?
Sold 44 this week for $12.49 raw or $41 CGC'd. This has been optioned for a Netflix series.
Hey, all right.
We got some of these.
I got a ton of these. Because I support Rucka because I love Rucka, and Rucka was cool to us. So
Yep, he was very cool. Number 2 is still Avengers 684, the first appearance of the Immortal Hulk. Sold another 69 copies this week, averaging $35. I sold all mine; they're gone. The CGCs are now going for $87 on average. We've got Venom number 9, which is the first appearance of Dylan, Eddie Brock's son. These are just selling for around double cover, but 50 of them sold this week. And there are no CGCs that sold this week. So this is one that's still probably on the shelves. You can probably go pick it up somewhere. I don't know what they're planning on doing with Dylan, but that was the first appearance.
There you
go. Number 4 is the Umbrella Academy Free Comic Book Day edition, which is the very first appearance of Umbrella Academy. You could have got this for free at your comic book shops. It is selling for nearly $60. 40 of them have sold. And the CGC version is selling for $150.
And see, this is the thing we always talk about. We always go goofball back and forth. And we're like, well, technically, the Free Comic Book Day is the first appearance. And it rarely ever works out. And here's a situation we friggin' missed where we were right and we missed it.
We are normally right, but this came out in 2007. So you and I were talking back and forth. We're like, well, I wonder how many Umbrella Academies we had. We were not collecting then.
Yeah, that was in our dark times.
Was when we went dark for a while. So we missed out, unless we've grabbed some in one of our long box dives over the years and just haven't cataloged it properly, which is possible. Coming in after the Umbrella Academy is the Incredible Hulk 181. It has the first appearance, a little person I like to call Wolverine. 17 of those sold this week, averaging $1,100 a piece, with the CGCs averaging 8.0s going for around $3,000. So I don't know why they're moving, but they're moving.
I mean, we keep hearing banting about who is going to play Wolverine in the next iteration in the movies, and whenever that kind of thing, and you get names bantied about, be it the Daniel Radcliffes of the world or whatnot, who knows?
Well, I think it's more there's this demand.
Yes,
I think it's demand because this is a blue chip key issue that will never go down in value, in my opinion.
I need to find a site that aggregates the average selling price of this over about a 10-year span in a bar graph, because it seems like this, Spider-Man 300, and New Mutants 98 have just shot up in the last 10 years.
Yeah, with the proliferation of the movies and the popularizing of the characters, and more people are trying to get those keys. I think you're darn right. Exactly. Number 6 is the gold foil edition of Old Guard number 1, also selling really well.
I think I had Rucka sign one of these, not the gold, the regular. Now that I'm looking, I have 3 copies. It says in my log of Old Guard.
Well, if you have the gold foil selling for $30 raw and $100 CGC'd.
There you go.
Immortal Hulk 12 comes in at the 7th slot. This is the first full appearance of the One Below All. 50 sold this week, around $16 a piece, with the CGCs already back and selling for $126. Come on, that's crazy. That is crazy. So buy them at $16 raw, CGC them for another $30, and still triple your money.
There you go.
It doesn't make any sense. Let's see, Venom number 9, the animation variant. That first appearance of Dylan. Again,
first full appearance, because he's got a cameo a couple issues before that.
Yes, you're right. First full appearance. $26 with graded going for $45. we have Venom.
Yep, there's the cameo. Never mind.
Yeah. So number 9 is Venom number 7, which is where Dylan appears in a dream. This is a Hulk 180, Hulk 181 situation, and this is only selling for $5 raw and $50 CG Seed. And then finally, we have the Umbrella Academy Apocalypse Suite number 1. This is the first issue of the first series, the first volume of Umbrella Academy, and this is selling for $40 raw and $181 CG Seed because of that. So some really new entries here in this, and stuff that hey, head out to your LCS if you got a lunch hour. See what kind of see if they might have old guards still on the racks. They might still have Umbrella Academy on the racks. I doubt it.
Scroll down through the tertiary stuff to rank 20 there, brother.
Is this like the second top 10 where they don't do the pictorials?
Yeah, they're not giving the pictures. They're just giving the clicks.
Hitmonkey.
Hitmonkey number 1.
What's that?
I don't know. Seems intriguing. And when I click on it, it pulls up Hitmonkey number 1 from 2010, the first appearance of Hitmonkey. So I'm guessing something's going on with Hitmonkey. It sounds like, and it's a Marvel title, but it sounds like these are things you might be able to pick up in a bin if you're looking around.
Sold 20 copies in 7 days, and I never heard of it.
Yep. And of course, Midwest number 1 still doing good, getting you $20 pop.
That's the cover A?
Yes. And man, that Incredible Hulk 377, which I thought was just the green cover, but apparently it's the first appearance of Professor Hulk, moving real good.
Yeah. It is moving copies. Boy, Immortal Hulk, they're all selling well.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous. Yep. There's good stuff there, though. Lots of good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's all I had. If you don't have anything, you want to head over to Sneak Peek?
Yeah, let's head on over to previewsworld.com. Let's click over it until we find March the 6th, 2019. I'm going to click the old table view. And Drew, let's start where we love to start. Let's start in Image.
Well, we got Deadly Class 37, which since the shows come out, I've been loving the series on Sci-Fi, and went back to revisit the comic and have fallen in love with the comic. I've finished the first 3 volumes. I'm on issue 22, and I'm like, what was wrong with me back then that this series didn't stick with me? It's so good.
You were reading a ton of books at the time.
I was, and I was a crazy sampler, and I was like, it's kind of good. Nah. I was wrong. Should have stuck with it. It was really, at least these first 3 volumes have been fantastic. So yeah. I've rediscovered the joy of Rick Remender's Deadly Class.
Midwest number 1, a 4th print, and if you dig into it, it says final printing, which means they're doing this 4th print and they are not doing another one. I love that they are advertising that and saying that, and they have been doing different issues on this. So get this final printing of issue 1 just because it is the final printing of issue 1.
Yes. Yeah, see, in Walking Dead, we better give them a plug. They need all the help they can get.
Yes.
For 189, lines are drawn. Chaos has come to the Commonwealth. There you go. There you go. I don't know how can you put this book down? It's so good.
And a really cool cover B by Joe Madureira on Unnatural. That is also the end of its penultimate story arc.
Yep, because it's going to be a 12-issue story now instead of ongoing.
That was always a 12-issue story.
No.
You can say
I
that
bet
all
you.
want, but
Let's go back to issue 1, Solicit. I bet you doesn't say Unnatural number 1 of 12.
okay. It does, but that's all right.
All right, I'm gonna go find it.
I believe the burden of proof is on you. I've already told you the answer to this.
All right. Put a pin in that. I'll come back. We'll get that. I will email you, and you'll never read it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, good luck with that. Yeah, I'm looking. If you actually drill down and see, hey, let's look at all things from this. If you go down, it will show you a link directly to issue number 1, and it says 1 of 12.
Well, they've changed it.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay.
They went back. They went back and they edited it.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was not pitched as a 12-issue miniseries.
It is. That's why I didn't go crazy on that.
All right.
Let's head on down to Dark Horse.
Astro Hustle, number 1, by Jay Nitz. Remember old Jay Nitz?
Oh, yeah.
Art by Tom Riley. Chin Andalou, the black sheep of a prominent activist family, returns after being accidentally put in Christostasis for 60 years. I hate it when it happens. Chin, a cosmic criminal, wakes up to find his younger brother is now the president of the galaxy. Chin does what he knows best. He steals stuff and causes a problem.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, looks like there's a bulldog with a blunderbuss on the cover, so I'm in.
What was the Jay Nitz? It was like an early review that we liked. Jay Nitz was doing something. Remember that?
Vaguely.
This would have been like 2011 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think back that far.
Dream Thief?
Yeah, Dream Thief. That's right.
Yep. Yeah, he did Dream Thief in 2014 that we liked.
It was 2014?
Yes.
Could have swore it was earlier. Time they do the fly.
Yes, indeed.
That's all I had from Image.
All right, let's see what that was actually Dark Horse.
Dark Horse, yes.
Yeah, let's check IDW, but it doesn't look like there's a ton releasing from IDW.
Surprise.
Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back graphic novel. 900-year-old Jedi Master. All right. What in the world? DC, what do we have here?
Oh my goodness, we have a Doomsday Clock sighting.
Ooh.
Issue 9 from November of 2018. So it had already been moved to bi-monthly at this point and was solicited to come out November 18th, and it is now March 1. And this is going to come out on March 6th, in theory. And so that's a delay.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I can remember what was going on. I should probably stop reading it and just wait until the whole thing's collected and read it in one chunk, but I'm too far in now.
Really like the Evan Shaner Green Arrow 50 variant.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Another really good Derek Chu Harley Quinn Sideways variant. Another really good one. Definitely pick that up.
Looks very similar to the other one.
Yeah. Very Japanese inspired.
A lot of great B covers.
Yep.
Check them out.
And did you read The Young Justice?
I did.
How's that going?
I just read the first issue. I haven't read the second one yet.
And here we have the third, and a very cool Evan Shaner B cover. I like it. I really like that kind of the classic style of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very cool.
Anything else in DC?
Mm-mm.
All right, let's head on down to Marvel, the other of the big two.
The biggest of the big two.
This is true.
Well, what's going on in Immortal Hulk? We should probably check in.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the pulse of what's going on.
Yeah, we got Betsy Ross is going through a lot. She's having a family crisis. Betty Ross, not Betsy Ross. She didn't make the flag. Her employees won't pick the phone. And at her door is the husband she thought was dead, but Bruce Banner hasn't come alone. He's brought the Immortal Hulk. Well, is there a chance there's something that is an Alex Ross cover?
Yeah.
You probably ought to get this.
Yeah.
I mean, you really ought to.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
All right, Meet the Skrulls #1 by Robbie Thompson.
Okay.
I have this weird sneaking suspicion they're going to sneak something interesting in this 5-issue run.
Okay.
I can't confirm. There's no reason I know this. I'm just thinking classic Marvel. This is an under the radar title. And something's going to end up in there.
Now, we got low print run alert coming. We've got Ziggy Pig Silly Seal Comics #1. Now, it's a Frank Thierry book.
Oh.
Who's not awesome in my book. Art Jacob Chabot, covered by Nick Klein.
Another one of
not
those
so
80 years titles. 80 years of books.
Yes, I got a feeling no one's going to pick this one up. But bring something back. Could it have a little Elmer Fudd Batman cachet to it? I don't know. I've read all the others. I'll be reading this. Some work, some don't. We'll see how this one goes.
Star Wars Vader Dark Visions #1 of 5 from Marvel, written by Dennis Hopeless with Paolo Villanelli and Greg Smallwood on the cover A. Who is Darth Vader? He has been many things: a Sith warrior, a commander, a destroyer. Darth Vader is to many throughout the Gallic Empire a symbol of fear and mysterious otherworldly power. But there are some who have seen the Dark Lord in a different light. There are some corners of the galaxy so dark and desperate that even Vader can be a knight in shining armor. The first issue of a new Star Wars limited series written by Dennis Hopeless sheds new light on the many sides of the galaxy's greatest villain.
So what we're down to, we've got Star Wars is the flagship title, as it should be. We're in issue 62. We've got Dr. Aphra, which can't be long for this world. I don't think its sales are there. And then everything else has gone to one-off and 5-issue miniseries, and no more ongoing titles for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the right call, right?
Seems, of course.
Yeah. Just keep the flagship going, and just trot these other things out from time to time to tie into whatever's coming up. I like it. I think it's a good plan.
We shall see, my brother. All right, Dynamite.
Yeah. What about Obey Me? The zero issue for Obey Me. Mario Mentasti with and Emmanuel Ordaz Torres.
Yeah, I don't know this game. So
Oh, that's a game.
Normally my wheelhouse. I've missed this.
So that means there's probably not going to be the demand for it. If you don't know the game that it's based on,
Correct. The reach
it's
of
probably
some of the
not.
other stuff.
It doesn't have the cash. Yes.
Correct.
So you're not saying bye. For Mark Russell fans, there's a Red Sonja #2. Hopefully that first issue was good. I haven't read it yet. Yet another $6 million man.
Anything in Boom? Ronin Island. Oh yeah, I read the solicit. I remember on the FOC. I kind of liked it. Greg, that's right, because Greg Pak. Yes, so definitely.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Your boy.
All right, let's see what some of our smaller publishers have for us.
There's probably a chance on the Blossom 666. That first one sold through really quick, so the second issue might also have some heat. It's got some cool covers. Archie twisted
We got
story
a different cover
there.
on that second
So there's a
printing.
possibility there. I can't remember what the first print looked like. I mean, I think any specker worth his salt is going heavy on Fart Night #1. With its explosive first issue.
Interesting. Oh, Keen Spot, you're looking for your niche.
Mags Visaggio doing Morning in America. Set in Ohio. I'm a sucker for Ohio-based comics,
And
so I'll be checking this
the winner
out.
for most obnoxious title to any comic book ever is Grant Morrison's 18 Days Karna Legends 6th Son #1. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I didn't know
that's bad.
the 18 Days series or whatnot, so I will continue to not know the 18 Days.
Yeah.
So.
There's book 2 for Once Our Land. Once Our Land was a really hot book, the first volume, and blew up. Was a quick flip, and you could make a lot of money on it. Don't know if the book 2 will have the same magic. Probably not, but it could catch some people unawares. So that might have a chance.
I believe in either a pick of the week or an FOC. I talked about Oberon #1 from Aftershock by Ryan Perot.
Yep.
The second issue is here. If you are continuing that trend.
Yeah.
All right, Drew, anything else? All right, this is one of the podcasts where I ask you for your pick of the week.
No.
What's your book to run into your LCS this coming Wednesday? Make sure you grab up. Make sure you bag and board. Maybe even ship it off to CJC because it's going to be the next Immortal Hulk 7, 9, 11, 14, 18, and whatever else it is. Yeah.
It's 14. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna say, we've been talking about this, but we haven't recommended Immortal Hulk. I don't think. So get on the train.
Get on the train. Don't get off. I'm going to
Immortal
recommend
Hulk 14.
Boom Studios Ronin Island #1. Just for fun. It sounds like a good time. I tend to really like when Greg Pak writes these kind of things, similar to when he was writing a book that just completely spaced on, so never mind.
It's not the fun pick of the week,
Midwest
Kyle.
4,
It's the spec pick, pick
#1
of the
fourth
week.
print. Yeah, I mean I think that's a
Seriously?
good spec one too. They're not going to be doing any more prints. There you go.
All right.
I don't know. Which one will you allow me to?
So which one are you going with? I'll allow you to do whatever you want. I'm just telling you, the listeners, they write to me
you
and
would
they say,
absolutely
Kyle's not
read
taking
that.
this seriously.
You think to throw it right in my face. Absolutely.
Okay, so
Ronan
you're going to go with
Island,
Ronan
number 1.
Beach. What was it?
You've mixed Wizard Beach. Yep.
Which was one of my picks.
See, sometimes it's about.
Because it looked fun. That's awesome.
And I've got to go dig through a bunch of previews to prove you wrong on friggin' Unnatural.
You probably still have my copy.
All right, I want to thank you guys for tagging along with us through our sneak peek. If you liked any of the other books we talked about this week and you think those would make a better pick of the week than whatever it is my brother picked or whatever it is that I picked, feel free to drop us a line on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Gmail, send us an email. All this stuff can be found at comicsfunprofit.com. Be part of the podcast. Or if you agree with me and you'd like my brother to shut up, send a word saying that as well.
No.
So,
I will not read that on the air.
For Drew and for myself, see ya.